Deeply loving friend, marvelous Melissa Gratz.
Harvest Collection, 2 giveaways, and Michael Borg as Charlie Brown. So we'll see how this goes. Hello, Scentsy! I'm Melissa Gratz, a superstar director in Michigan, and I've been with Scentsy for 17 years now, which is wild because some days I still feel like a brand new consultant. Just trying to figure it all out. And trust me, my first year, I had some moments. Let me paint you a picture. Okay, so this is my very first year in Scentsy. In your whole first year, you're basically still a new consultant. And since I'd never done direct sales before, that made me like a new consultant. I connected with a salon owner who wanted to do a basket party. She said, I've used Scentsy before, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is great, because that's not something I've heard in 2009 in Michigan. So she said, I've done this before, and I thought, perfect, easy party. So I dropped off a warmer, got the wax going at the front counter, and left a basket of my scent testers, order forms, and samples. You know, the cute little cut squares of cranberry spice, perfectly bagged and stapled to my business card. A week later, I come back to pick it all up. I walk in, she greets me with a big smile on her face, and she says, the salon smells amazing. Now, if Scentsy could just come up with a way to contain the wax, this would be genius. And I'm like, what? What do you mean contain the wax? She walks me back to her cutting station, and I swear to you, I thought I was being punked. She had taken the little squares of cranberry spice wax samples, detached them from my business cards, and placed one on top of every single globe light bulb around her giant cutting mirror. You know the bulbs I'm talking about, the Broadway dressing room kind? And those little red samples had melted. Down the bulbs, down the mirror, onto her station. It looked like a horror film. Now remember, I'm in my first year, right? But it looked like wax was bleeding down the walls. My name and my business card were all over that salon, which in my opinion was an epic fail in bringing me new customers by the look of her mirror. I froze. I quickly said to myself, fix your face. And all I could think was, what did she think the warmer on the front desk was for? But here's the thing. In that moment, I had zero control over what had happened. I couldn't control that she misused the samples. I couldn't go back in time and label them do not bake. All I could control was my reaction, my tone, and the solution that I offered. I took that grand opportunity to show her how easy Scentsy wax is to clean up, even pulling out the old credit card trick to scrape up the wax with ease. Trust me, I helped her select the perfect warmer using her host rewards for her salon to contain the wax. And that moment taught me something I've never forgotten. In this business, you won't always control what happens, but you can control how you respond. That lesson, it has saved me again and again. When hosts cancel, when flash sales glitch, when customers don't respond, when a post on my VIP page is crickets, when team members stop showing up, or when life does what life does. We spend so much time stressing over things we can't control. But what if we put that energy into the things that we can? Let's draw that line between what's in our hands and what's not, starting with what's not in our control. Because let's be honest, this is where most of the drama lives. You can't control if someone ghosted you after saying they wanted to join your team. You can't control when that someone does end up joining, but it's on someone else's team. You can't control when Hamish, the infamous weighted buddy, goes out of stock 5 minutes after launch. You can't control if there will be a queue in place, a FedEx delay, or an item is removed from your cart. You can't control when a customer says, "Oh, it's too expensive," while they're holding a $7 Starbucks in one hand and a Stanley Cup in the other. And you definitely can't control the person who says they didn't like how messy the wax is because they DIY'd a warmer with a salon light bulb. But here's what you can control. You can control your attitude. You decide whether that canceled party ruins your whole day or just reroutes your PRV plan. You decide if you're going to take things personally or take them as feedback and move forward better. You decide whether you're going to shut yourself down before you even begin when the incentive trip qualifications are announced. And I've been there, because the moment the top 100 trip to Africa was announced at SFR in 2016, I said to myself, and I remember it vividly, "Looks like you're going to Punta Cana." But guess who gave herself an attitude adjustment and earned a spot in the top 100? You control your daily actions. You control how many people you reach out to, how often you follow up, on whether you're working your business or just rearranging your office supplies and calling it work. We all do it sometimes. I have been known to alphabetize my wax samples like it was going to increase my paycheck. You control how you show up for people, the way you treat your team, how quickly you get a customer their order, whether you take the extra 30 seconds to actually educate your customer instead of assuming they'll just know. Because you control how you explain Scentsy, you control how your customers experience it, you control the instructions, the communication, and the education. Because let's be honest, common sense is no longer common. Yeah. We all think we are being clear until someone bypasses the dish and tosses the wax directly inside the warmer and wonders why it's puddled underneath. Until someone cuts the wick off a fragrance flower, pours the oil onto the petals, and says it didn't last very long and made a mess. Throws washer whiffs into the dryer like a scent booster and ends up with goo in the drum. Or cuts open a scent pod and tries melting the beads in a warmer. Or as you saw on screen, when we say, just drop a cube or two into the mini warmer and plug it in, they were just following our instructions. You don't control what they will do with it, but you do control what you teach them. That's your lane. That's your power. You are the expert. This is what sets us apart from a big box store. We don't hand someone a fragrance order and just walk away. We get to curate an entire scent experience, from first sniff to the customer's, "Oh my gosh, that warmer is gorgeous" text message, to the 3-month gotta have it reorder. We get to do that. That's the difference. Follow-up is key in this business. Yes, you've heard that over and over, and many times it's been from me. But it's because it's just that important. It isn't our customer's job to remember us and remember to order. It's our job to stay in their minds, in their noses, and in their homes. Ask for them. This is one of my favorite things to do. Ask for your customer to send you a picture of their new warmer all set up, or a picture of where they place their fragrance flower. Provide instructions, feedback, and suggestions. Set them up for success, not wax puddles on their countertops. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. If the picture comes over to me with the warmer dish being used as a warmer stand, then I'm able to correct it right away. And if the picture comes over and the warmer is operating correctly and integrated beautifully into their decor, I have the opportunity to compliment how great it looks. I have the opportunity to send a picture back to them showing how I grouped that warmer with 2 others to create a full-on scent decor masterpiece. Of course, planting the seed in their mind that one warmer is never enough. And a little tip that also gives you text history of all their past purchases right in your conversation. Because when I said the wax melts by the heat of a light bulb, I didn't think I had to say, please don't put the wax directly on the light bulb. And yet here we are. More things that you do control. You control your brand. You are a brand. Did you know that? Yes. Scentsy is the brand of products that we use, but you are the brand that your customers are doing business with. How you present yourself online matters. How you make a point to smile at others when you're out and about in a Scentsy t-shirt matters. How you package an order and make your customer feel like they just got a gift for themselves matters. What people say about you when you're not in the room is shaped by what you say and what you do when you are in it. Believe this, I actually had a customer reach out to me recently with details about a nightmare she had. Her horror? That I was no longer a Scentsy consultant. That was her nightmare, not clowns, not falling. It was me not selling wax. That's brand loyalty. You also control your consistency. Listen, one really good Monday doesn't build a business, but neither does one rough week ruin it. It's boring, repeatable, daily drip stuff that builds trust, reputation, and momentum. You control your skills. You control how well you know your products, how confident you are in explaining them, and whether you're still green and growing or ripe and rotting. And here's the big one for me. You control who you surround yourself with. Are you in rooms that fuel your belief? Have you made friends in this community that you can't wait to share your excitement with because you know they will cheer for you? You can't wait to attend SFR because you get to see them outside of a Zoom screen? Or are you waiting for the next sucky thing to happen so you can run to a Facebook group where everyone's just venting about a glitchy flash sale or the latest algorithm drama? Because yes, misery loves company, but it also consumes it. You end up letting it hijack your whole day, just sitting there waiting for someone to comment back so you can feel validated and feeling stuck. And let's be real, the same people saying, I don't have time for a sale hiccup today, are the same ones who'll sit there refreshing the complaint thread for 2 hours. And do you follow up or let you coast. Because the people you give your time to will either water your potential or drain it. They shape your mindset, your momentum, your standards. So choose people who challenge you to grow. And here's the tricky part. If you're in the wrong circles, you usually don't realize it. Because everyone around you is stuck too. And stuck starts to feel normal. At the end of the day, we are not powerless in this business. We are powerful. Not because we can control everything, but because we control what matters. Our effort, our energy, our input. That's where the difference is made. So when stuff happens, and it will, you get to ask, is this mine to control? And if it's not, drop it. Focus on what is. You don't need perfect circumstances. You need consistent action. You need belief. You need friends in this business that can lift you and put you back on your path. And you need to focus on what's actually in your control.